Up to now, we've been creating classes with empty or default values in their attributes, and then setting the attribute values after we've created the object. This works, but it's not ideal. Working this way means we need to write a separate line for each attribute we want to set, and that makes it really easy to forget to set an important value. Us humans are pros at forgetting to do things, even important things. So when writing code, it's a good idea to do things early to prevent from forgetting them later on. So let's set those values as we create the instance. This way we know that our instance has all the important values in it from the moment it's created, and we don't have to worry about it. To do this, we need to use a special method called constructor. Let's go back to our Apple example to see this in action. The constructor of a class is the method that's called when you call the name of the class. It's always named init. You might remember that all methods that start and end with 2 underscores are special methods. Here, we've defined a constructor, one very important special method. This method, on top of the self variable that represents the instance, receives 2 more parameters, color and flavor. And then the method sets those values as the values of the current instance. Let's see how that works with a new instance of the Apple class. Jonah Gold equals apple, and we'll give it red and sweet. Great, and now let's check that all the attributes were set correctly. Print jonahgold.color. Perfect. So now by adding a constructor method that sets the attributes, we can create the class and have its values set right when it's created. Pretty handy, right? Constructors aren't the only special methods we can write. When we use the str or print functions to convert an object to a string, we are using a super useful special method. But before we go ahead and define one, let's see what happens when we don't define it. We just tried to print our Apple instance and we got a very weird message. We have the words apple and object in there, but what's the rest of it? Well, when we don't specify a way to print an object, Python uses the default method that prints the position where the object is stored in the computer's memory. This is definitely not what we wanted. If you ever try and print something and Python prints a random string of numbers and letters, you'll know that it's likely using the default representation, which is the position of the object in the computer's memory. So, how do we tell Python to print something that makes sense for us? We use the special str method, which returns the string that we want to print. Let's see what this looks like. By defining the special str method, we're telling Python that we want it to display when the print function is called with an instance of our class. Check it out. Jonah Gold equals apple. We'll give it red and sweet. Print Jonah Gold. So, the str method lets us print a friendly message instead of a bunch of numbers. In general, it's a good idea to think ahead and define the str method when creating objects that you want to print. There are a lot of other special methods. We're not going to look at the rest of them here, but you can find pointers to learn more about them in the official documentation. You'll find the link to that in the next reading. These concepts are new and not too easy, so don't worry if you're still trying to figure out the difference between a method and a function. We've all been there, and the best way to feel confident is to keep practicing until it's clear. You're doing great, so keep at it.